Join the team.
Hey, theMCGuiReReview, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new upcoming game, which is Harry Potter Miniatures Adventure Game. This is a really cool game that was recently funded by Knight Models, and it offers a pretty unique aspect to the Your Squad versus My Squad tabletop tactical miniatures game. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk through kind of what you can find here and what you'll get out of a game like this. But before we do that, we're going to take just a couple minutes here, and I do want to talk, well, we don't want to block Bear. I do want to talk through a new partner with the channel, which is Into the AM. I'm wearing one of the t-shirts here. Before I even talk about this, one of the things I want to make clear to everybody, this is Into the AM as well, is the channel doesn't just promote stuff, okay? I had to make sure that the brand and the clothing was something that I would stand behind, and I would say, hey, you guys should click the link below. There's an affiliate link, and it is an affiliate program, so if you do purchase anything, buy the coupon code that's in the description below the video, or you click the link, it just kind of automatically injects the coupon code for you. You can use one or the other. The link's probably the easiest route. Or you can click the link and you can put the code in too. It doesn't really matter. You'll get that discount. But it is an affiliate program, so I will get 10% of the purchase order. So that's how it works behind the scenes. I want to be clear on that, that it is a way that you can support the channel if you're looking for some new cool clothing. However, we want to make sure that the brand, I can really kind of put my name out there and stand behind, and I have found that it is a very high quality t-shirt. So one of the things that I wanted to do was not just pull it out of the package, pop it on, and make a video. What I wanted to do is ensure that I've worn it multiple times, I've washed it multiple times, and I have done that with both of the shirts. I'll show you the other one here in a second that I was sent. This is one of them. You'll see, I'll stand up here. It's got a design of an astronaut in space. They do have very unique designs on their t-shirts. You'll see that it does have kind of a fitted sort of, flex a little bit for you, a little bit for the cameras. Woo! And then it does sort of taper slightly. It pretty much goes down, maybe a little slight taper out, but that kind of just offers a little more room there in the midsection. So I think it actually fits really, really well from a design perspective. Here's the other one, and you'll find on this one, and this is why these are two good examples, I guess. This is more of just like your standard, it's all like t-shirt design, all the same like color. Where this one, what I mean by that is you'll see here that there's a little bit of a slight fading that's around right here. It came that way. It wasn't like it was washed and then it come out. So what's nice about that is they also kind of add that style to their shirts, which give you sort of that you've had it for a while kind of feel. So some of the t-shirts have that feature. And then here's another design, which is kind of like a Ferris wheel. It's a little bit more colorful. So their designs are pretty unique from that perspective. And then they do have a little logo that they kind of stitch on the bottom of the t-shirt here, which is cool. And it kind of gives you that, exclusive or a little higher quality feel t-shirt look when companies do that. So that's really nice. Shirts are super soft. They are a little bit of a thicker material than your standard t-shirt, but they are really, really soft. They fit well. I do really like them. They are very high quality t-shirts. So if you're looking to get some new t-shirts, they have lots more than just t-shirts. I can't speak on those things. I only have 2 t-shirts, but they do have shorts and pants and polos and long sleeve shirts and little like jacket type, light kind of jackets. They have a number of different types of clothing options. You can click that link below and check them out. Into the AM. I do stand behind it. I think it's pretty high quality stuff. And they do have bundles and deals if you want to buy. And that's probably the best way to go is to get the bundles of t-shirts. Then you get them for the best price. So if it's something you're looking for, you want some new t-shirts with some new kind of cool looking designs, check out Into the AM. I do recommend it. And you can get that link below. With that, we'll go right back to talking about our board game. And I will say, team, as we go forward, I wouldn't be spending that much time going through it, but this is the first time we've looked at the shirts, so I spent a couple minutes there talking that through. Let's get into what this video is really about, which is Harry Potter Miniatures Adventure Games from Knight Models. Now, this was a recent funding campaign that they did. I was However, unfortunately, not able to cover this during the campaign. That was unfortunate. I do like to try to make those timings and cover the content if there is a campaign that's going on during that period of time. I was not able to, just due to a number of other things going on. And these aren't paid for, okay? If this was a paid for promotion, then, there'd be contractual things there where you'd have to make those times. But on this channel, we don't do paid for content. We don't do paid for advertisements. That's all that is. So this is an actual real look at the game, and that timing is going to be whenever the channel chooses to do so. And sometimes that timing is going to be during the right time or not during the right time. It really doesn't matter because this content's going to be out there for who knows how many years, as long as the channel exists, and anybody can come and look at this and look at a review or a mechanics talk on the game. And that's kind of what we're going to do today. So what was sent? And again, this was sent to me. I did not purchase this. This was sent to me before their funding campaign. There was this little golden Hogwarts ticket in here, just kind of a little promotional thing, pretty cool. We got the base game, which you actually get quite a bit here. It's a real. We'll get there in a minute. It's a real nice for what you get, kind of in the base content. And then there were 2 expansions. I had not opened these. You'll see on the side-by-side cam. Bear will do us some work on what you get within these boxes. It is really cool. This one's got a bunch of the magical masters, so all kind of on the Harry Potter side, and then on the Voldemort side, you get the servants of the Dark Lord. So, over here you've got Hagrid, you got Dumbledore, you've got what's another really cool character here? Alastor. I mean, there's just so many cool characters. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new models and all the stuff you'll need to be able to play their characters. You'll get their miniature. And then over here you get the Death Eaters, you get Malfoy, you get, you get Snape, very cool, Bellatrix. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in this one as well. So quite a few new characters to kind of build out your squad if you want to pick up these expansions, but is not necessary in any way, shape, or form to be able to play and enjoy this game, as they do give you a really nice selection in the core game with the units that you get here. It's pretty much the crew here, Harry's crew, and you do get Hedwig, as well as you get Voldemort and the Snake and some Death Eaters. So that's really cool what's actually included there, and how many cool models that you actually get right out of the base package. Sometimes these games, they won't give you the best ones right out, and then they'll put the best ones in these. I mean, obviously you got Dumbledore here. You're not going to get Dumbledore in the base set, but they'll put the best ones in here, and then you'll get. I've just seen so many do that, which sort of lock you into having to want to buy these expansions. I think in this platform, you don't necessarily have to do that. You have most of the coolest ones, right here, where you got all your supporting characters in your expansion. Okay, this is going to be this is where this game is interesting, because it really is trying to sit in the 1v1 tactical miniatures combat game space, but it is a board game, and they're branding it and kind of releasing it as a board game. They're not really branding this and releasing this as a tabletop miniatures game or a tabletop tactical combat type game. They're branding and releasing this as an actual board game. They're actually calling it the miniatures adventure game, Wizarding Duels, right? So they're kind of getting both sides of that, but they're, from a branding perspective, they're really going for the board game. I think more of the board game adventure game aspect than the 1v1 combat game. And this game really sits kind of in a medium state to those things. So when you're playing the game, you're obviously going to take one of the crews, and you're going to set, I'm just going to randomly put this out here. You're going to set your crew up on one side, and then your enemy is going to set their crew up on another side, okay? And you're going to be going back and forth, and there's going to be objectives around the board. There's going to be things you're going to be trying to collect. There's going to be obstacles that you will block line of sight or will not block line of sight. It's very similar in a lot of those combat games. You're going to be attacking one another. But the primary objective of this game is to complete these quests. So these quest cards right here, you'll start the game with 3 of these, and they'll have different things on them. I'll just read a few of them here. So during all of your activations, you perform at least 1 movement action. If you're able to do that at the kind of the end of your round, okay, you complete that quest, you draw another one. A target opponent model that is not adjacent to your leader suffers a move and ends up adjacent to your leader. Okay, if you're able to achieve that. All friendly models are activated. If you're able to achieve that. All your markers are in different models. If you're able to achieve that. So they aren't quests that are, that's the first thing I'll say from a review perspective. They aren't quests that feel very like adventurous or link into the storyline of Harry Potter at all. It's just things that you decide to do when it's your turn, then end up meeting the criteria that are on these cards. You then would complete the quest, get a point, right? And then you can get another one. The whole objective of the game is to, after 3 rounds, have more of these points, and then you win. The game will go 3 rounds unless all of your opponent's models are eliminated. Then you'll go immediately, or at any point in time that happens, you'll go immediately to end-game scoring. And whoever has the most of these quests completed is the winner. So it is kind of interesting from the perspective of, in other traditional sort of 1v1 tactical games, if all your models die, I win. In this game, all my models could die, but if I ended up having more of these quests completed, I could still actually win. So that's kind of interesting here. I'll also say that it really is mostly focused on these quests. That's what your objective is to do. So when you get into situations where it's like, ooh, I'm in a good spot here to do some damage and attack, you may choose to not attack or do any type of damage like that. You may choose to do other actions and other things because you're trying to accomplish your quests. That's the difference with this one, is it is a tactical miniatures game, but you're really more focused on completing your quests than you are actually doing combat in battle. You're going to do combat in battle when and if these models are getting in your way of being able to complete a quest. But if your objective is like, I'm just going to go after models and try to take them out, and you don't really kill them in this game. Once they take 4 points of damage, then they basically are removed from the game for the rest of the game. They're just sort of like out. They're like out of the round, right? They're out of the game. But that's, if you just go after that, you're going to lose, because you really need these quest cards to be completed and those points from that to be able to win. That is how you win the game. It is not by taking out the other players' models. So that's interesting, because the game kind of sits in this space where it'd be interesting to see how this when it really rolls. It was funded. It got a nice amount of money. It's a popular IP. I think people are really. It's a fun game. Okay, but it'd be interesting to see how it does once it rolls out to retail, because you're going to have people that are tabletop tactical miniatures traditional gamers, like the games that are made like that are just like my squad versus your squad. Yeah, there might be objectives and different things that help, but it's my squad versus your squad. Take your squad out, I win. You're going to have people that may or may not go this route, because that's really not the key concept here. It's more about achieving these little objectives, which might be a unique and different thing for folks that are looking for just the one squad versus another squad. I think you're also going to have people that may not like these styles of games and end up picking this up because it's not as much. I don't have to worry about as much of just like my squad combating your squad. I'm really trying to tactically achieve these little objectives. And I am going to say tactically versus strategically, because every round things are going to change on the game board. And it's due to the activation. When you start a round, there's going to be things you're going to do from like an upkeep perspective. You're going to like reset some things. Then you're going to flip a coin. And then you're going to decide which group goes first, like which model goes first. So let's say that Harry's crew got the flip of the coin. Okay, well, now what you'll do is you'll decide one model will move, do all the actions. You don't move a model, do something, then come back to it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna move Hermione here, and I'm gonna move her too, and then I'm gonna fire off a spell, because you'll have various different these little cards here as well. You'll have spells, you'll have items, you'll have potions. You'll have these available to your group and your characters. Let's say I wanted to use my actions and do all that, and now I'm done. Okay, you can move, you can fire spells, you can use items, you can complete quests. These are all the types of things you can do on your turn. And then it would come over to the other player, and the other player would pick one of their models and then do something. And now it would come back, I'd pick one of my models and do something. So it is sort of this back and forth over the course of a round. Once all the models have moved, that's the end of the round. You'll then check to see if any quests have been completed and whatnot, and then you'll start over and you'll go to another round. After 3 rounds, the game is done. You may think, wow, that's not going to take very long at all. The box does say 45 to, I think, 60 minutes for a game. I would say the first game is probably going to be right at about that point, because you're going to be learning all the items and cards and thinking about what you want to do. After you learn the items, learn the crew, learn the cards, and you stick with this crew and you play it 5-6 times, games are not going to take that long. Like, you're probably going to blow through a game in 30 to 35 minutes, if I had to guess. Because it's only 3 rounds long, okay? You're going to get a nice amount of components here, where you're going to get little chits. You're going to get like the different spell tags that you can show what's been used. You're going to get like little terrain obstacles and things that are able to be put on the board. There's also like little quests for various types of items that are, very important in the Harry Potter IP. Each character is going to get a card here that's going to represent, their little specific abilities. It's not out of control. Every character has like a core kind of thing, where most of the characters in that unit have that same type of thing, where for like the Harry Potter side, it's all about them being within 2 spots from one another, and they can kind of buff one another. So it's, thematically, the crew kind of stays together. They fight together. They are able to buff together. Where on more of the other side here, the Voldemort side, the Death Eaters had the same ability. The Snake has a little bit of a different ability. Voldemort has a little bit of a different ability. So it's not as much of like stay together as a pack as it is on this side. And then each model has their own specific like ability / power, you can call it. And then they'll have a number of like icons at the top that will represent how you do your checks and your face-offs over the course of the game. So we'll go right into that, because that's the last sort of core mechanic here. There are no dice, so as you play the game, you will use these challenge cards right here. And you'll have 3 of these in your hand, and you always draw one whenever you do a challenge as well. And then you'll decide, do I use the one I drew, or should I sub it out for what's in my hand? That's just a mechanic to say if you drew something that really sucks, and you really want to get off some spell or block something, you might have something in your hand that would be better suited, and you could use that instead, and you take that other card and put it in your hand. That's how it's going to work. So any of the challenges are going to use these cards. You can think of this as like a modification deck, and it's going to work the same way for like checks, saving throws, you can say, or defense. You're basically going to do what you want to do. You're going to look at your card or your spell, and you're going to say, okay, I add up what my character number is, I add up what's on the card, and then what's that come out to? And then I throw down one of these cards as well. And as long as you're just trying to do something, and it requires one of these checks, like if you want to use an item or use a spell, they require you to actually, you can't just do it. You got to like roll the dice to see if it actually hits and works. That's called an individual check. You just need to be greater than 1. If you're less than 1, it fails. Greater than 1. After you add up the minuses and pluses, it's very easy. Again, you just, what's the number on here? It's a +2. What's the number on here? What's the number on here? Right? Whatever the number is, once you just take the value of that. These cards will also have some flavor text on them. They're not really flavor text. They actually do things. So resolve this card first. Opponent's clash card has no text. So they have like a little ability as well as their modifier, which is kind of cool. It really can throw off the course of what you think is going to happen because of these challenge cards, which does add a little bit of chaos to the game, but it's good chaos. That's why I said this is a tactical game. It's not a strategic, because you may have this grand strategy, and then based on these cards, it just totally throws it off. Or based on the fact that it's one model, one model, one model, one model. It's not like you're activating your entire group, and then they're activating their entire group. So it's when the games are like that, I refer to them as more strategic. This is pure tactical. You are reacting to every single turn and every single time one of these cards get activated, whether it's by yourself or against somebody else. So that's how the individual activation checks work, okay? Same thing you would do if somebody wanted to do damage to you. They're going to say, okay, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to throw another card, add up their number, add up their number. Okay, this is how much. You're going to do the same thing and try to offset that and have a greater value. And if you can't, then you get hit or take whatever they wanted to do to you, or you're able to kind of offset it and block it. That's how that works as well. So these challenge cards are really cool. There's a lot of games that use this mechanic and this concept of this deck of cards that just modify things instead of rolling dice. Now, am I more for the dice in a game like this? Generally, I am. It'd be fun to just do some dice chucking in a game like this. I don't know, maybe, but I do like the cards when the style of the game is like this. Okay, because it's a whole like quest concept and board game concept. I think the cards was a better mechanic to go with, and it does make it really fun to see what you have in your hand and it gives you more choice. It gives you more option as well. You just roll the dice, you get whatever the dice says. These you're going to have up to basically 4 cards to choose between, 3 in your hand plus the one you draw, on how you want to, interact, what kind of modifier you want, and plus the text that's on the cards that would activate something on top of that. So it does give you a lot more option when you're playing the game. Okay? And that is essentially this game. So is the game fun? Yes. If you're a huge Harry Potter fan and you love this IP and you know the books and you watch the movies, I think your fun is probably going to double, because you're going to be thinking about the characters and like scenes of the movie. Now, there are no things in here that I've really found that say, what is this? Oh, it's a little fuzzy. I got a fuzzy with my t-shirt. But you can kind of put yourself in that mindset, that kind of fantasy mindset of what's going on in the big battle that's happening. Does it have good replayability? I would say yes. I think it has pretty good replayability. I think that's where it comes into getting these expansions. If you just want different characters with different abilities, you are going to have a number of quests. So there's going to be tons of different things over the course of multiple games that you're going to be trying to achieve and do. It's not going to be like just the same quests over and over again. What are the special tactical actions you need to do to be able to achieve, victory? So, and there's a bunch of them. You can see how thick that deck is. There's a number of them. So I think there could be expansions, that come out where, they add more and more of these to give you better replayability over time. The components are all super high quality. That's where we'll end the review. I really have to give props to the company here, Noble Knights. No, it's Knight Models. I have to give props here to Knight Models, as they really have upped the quality of this is really, really well done. The maps are high quality, and these are two-sided as well. So you do get two-sided maps. They've got great high color. I really like this side. Really poppy. They did a great job with the color scheme of the game. You'll see this side, these pastel-type lighter colors. Everything just goes really well together. They really did a good job. And a lot of companies need to do better with this, where they use the color palette and the scheme in this game. It's very visually pleasing. Everything you can see very well when it's on the board. It's really, really done nicely. They've got just the right amount of components. Not too many, not too less. They've got nice reference cards for things. They didn't overcomplicate the characters' abilities and skills. The card quality is nice and thick, but not overly thick. The quality of everything is really, really top-notch. The cardboard, everything. It's just really top-notch quality. The miniatures you'll see on the side-by-side cam, we've probably had a couple of those views so far. They're fantastic, highly detailed, just really, really good sculpts. Very, very high quality. And it's got the harder plastic where it needs it. It's got the softer plastic where it needs it. This is a great example of Voldemort here, where you got the hard plastic all over the core body. But then you got this right here. And the first thing I thought when I pulled this out is, oh, that's going to snap off. But nope, they used the softer plastic on his little blast there. Just everything is done really well. So from a quality perspective, the price is right for the quality perspective and what you get here. So you don't have to worry about it. It isn't like it's this, and the price is I think good for this base set. Very good for what you get here. It's very fair. And you're going to get a super high quality game that I think will last for years and years and years. I've played it a number of times. I don't know how far the replayability will go. I think that's where the expansions have to come in. I think they need to continue to expand things as this platform continues to roll out to kind of keep this fresh and keep it going. But really well done. I have to give them props on it. It's a great game, and I do recommend it. You can check it out online. I'll have some links below. Again, it was recently funded. And then it'll be rolling out, I'm sure you could do late backing and all that. And it'll be rolling out to retail at some point. So with that, team, keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.